Okay, so now if you look at the one field called dependents, did you remember that we have worked on the dependents, right?
Yes. Yes.
And dependents normally coming in a different. I'm removing the another unnecessary thing. So we have a small report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we have only dependents, and if I click here as a dependents and I click the name, first legal name, and relationship, and click OK and run. Then you see that I have bringing like the relationship in the different lines, right? And now assume that you just have to bring this information in this field. Instead of coming in three different fields, you wanted to bring spouse in one and somewhere here on this row and not the three one, right? So
Right.
in order to do that, we have a different functions, different calculated fields, and this is a different object, by the way, like the dependent is an object. So I click on the plus, I go here on the create calculated fields, and I say that dependent is spouse, and I go to the function true false. So dependent is spouse, so I'm just making a one function called dependent is spouse and true false, and I click here on dependent. No, we have to first bring the dependent into the employee structure first, like on this object. So in order to do that, I have to create multiple things. Spouse dependent, and I look for the lookup related value. It's called lookup related values. And when you make this thing, you click on the LRVs. Lookup related values, what it does, it will go to that object which we are looking for, and then we have to get a return value. So I'm going to click on the dependents, and then I'll bring it here. And now this is like someone has already created this field. And we are not going to use this field on the worker. What we have to bring it from the different object, dependent object. So in this field, like LRV, we have to go and create a one more field called dependents. ESI, extract single instance. What this will see, it will bring a one instance from the dependent, right?
Right.
And now I mentioned dependent here, and I go and sort it on the effective date. And I'm going to click on the conditions, and I create one more condition so that what will do, this calculate field only bring spouses. and this is true false. And we look for spouse and click OK. And now what you need, probably the legal name, and click OK and click OK. Now what will happen that the legal spouse name will come here only. Make sense?
Yes.
Do you understand, or you want me to explain it again once more?
Can you explain it one more time?
Yes, I know. Okay, so look at this portion. This is in another object.
Okay.
I'm just bringing up like a one blank presentation here. Okay, so consider this.
Mm-hmm.
This is one report, one Excel field, right?
Yes.
And it has like your name, employee ID, uh, and a lot of other things, right?
Yes.
Then we have another field, another object. Consider this is a sheet one, Excel sheet one, and it's a sheet two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which has your employee ID and dependents information. So what will you do? You will do something like this. We look up employee ID and bring data from sheet, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so in this case, if you look at this, this is a dependent object and this is like the main object. What we are going to do, we have to call this object and bring the information in this object. But we want only spouse to bring in this field. It's not possible that we bring all three persons in the same field, right?
Mm-hmm.
That will be look like the same. Make sense?
Yes.
So what we did, I'll bring this field here and this field here and this field here. Okay, first of all, this is like a extract single instance. That means it will find out like a one record per employee, right? It has a dependence and it will bring all the things in the dependent, but where this condition is true.
Correct.
And the condition is relationship is a spouse, right?
Right.
When the relationship is spouse, it will bring here. And if you have a more than one relationship, like there are two things which are successful, it will only bring the first instance or the last occurrence or the specific occurrence.
Hmm. Social dependent spouse. So the dependent is okay. Yes. Wait, can you go back up? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see.
This is a condition.
Right. So this is pulling from another report.
It is pulling from the another object. This is object. See, the object is dependent. And see, the object we are using here is employee.
Right.
So we bring the object consider that as another Excel sheet, and we put like a condition if this is a spouse, bring it to this sheet, and then take it to here.
Right.
And once it's coming here, we say that what information you have to look up means what you want to look up from this value and what you want to return. And return is a last name.
Understood.
Any question on this? These three things are mostly used in the in the reports, or it is really required in the system. Do you want me to create it one more in front of you?
Yeah. Yeah. Can we do that?
Yes, we let's bring the age of the employee to, right?
Okay.
I click here, I
Okay.
click here, I go to the create calculated field, and I'm going to use CF stand for calculated field,
Color fields.
uh, spouse age, and it's
Mm.
a LRV, and click OK. And then I go here as on this and bring one more calculated field,
Mm-hmm.
which is called CF ESI. Actually, I don't need it. I'm just creating it. Now I don't need it because that is already there. I'll explain it to you in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I feel like dependents. And now I can use the same true false condition, right? Because it's on the same object.
It's on the same object. Employees.
No, dependent. Because we are bringing up like a dependent object. The object source object is dependents.
I see.
Yeah, see this.
Okay.
You are
Dependent. Uh-huh.
extracting dependents into the employee.
Oh, into the boy? Okay.
Yeah, into the
Right.
employee. I'll show you. Click
Okay.
OK and click OK and age and click OK. Click OK. And now I'll just go and refresh this. And look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at this information, like this object, which I say into the employee, dependent ESI, I go
Mm-hmm.
on these three dots and click edit. And if I click on employee, I can take it here too. Because this is into the employee, like we are extracting data for employee. And I
Right.
click here, OK. And when I run, it will bring up the object information for spouse, which is Pat McNeil. It's an object and it's a value from those objects.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So actually this was the main object. From this object, we extract a single object like this one on the
Uh-huh.
basis of condition, and then we bring up the information from there.
Understood.
Okay, so this is called extract single instance, extract calculated fields, and true false. This is
True
like a very basics.
true false.
Yeah, three calculated fields we have worked together. ESI, LRV, and true false. Now I'm going to create one more information. where I
Can you,
wanted to bring, yeah,
can you explain true false again?
sure. When
Like,
we are going to this true false, it is on one object called dependents, whatever object is. It will always make it like the things either true or false. So you have to find out the relationship of spouse, then it will be true. If you want it to, it's a condition, right? That what condition is true.
oh, I
Same
see.
filters, same filters which we added here on the reports.
Uh-huh.
Same filter which we have added on the reports. That's it.
I see. Understood.
Any condition you make it here, it's the same. Comparison value, field, and amount. So if I'll go here, it's a field, it's an operator, it's a comparison value and value.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now I'm going to edit it again and I'm going to work on the dependent M multi-instance,
Multi.
extract multi-instance, EMI, extract multi-instance. Previously, we bring up one information only for one thing. Now we are bringing up multi-instances, like more than one.
Uh-huh.
Click OK. So it will be operational type. Source field is dependent. For example, he asked for the condition and I say that any is true. I can make the condition too, but I'm just saying that bring everything here.
I see.
And I click OK and OK and run. So see that it will bring all the information from this dependent. But now there's no use if I have to bring everything together, like without having any condition, right? Why not using
Hmm.
this thing? So it is generally for having a different type of conditions. So what I'll do, I'll go here again, and I'm going to edit one condition like there. I will create a one more true false condition for the report. This is my multi-instance, right? This one,
Right. I
which
see.
brings three things. So I go here and I go edit it, edit this report, sorry, calculated field, and I create
Hmm.
a one more condition here, true false.
Hmm.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. So I'm for searching for relationship and uses like in the selected list and again child. Okay. So when I selected for child, now my same report will bring only two information which are child. Make sense?
Yes.
So this is like three, this is one, this is two. But you cannot bring these two in one field like this way. You have to bring it like this always. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll go here and I edit it and I go n plus here and I'll go to create one more calculated field and I go to these functions first. We have done the aggregated calculation, build date, concat text, convert currency, numbers, date constant, date difference, uh, EMI, extract multi-instance, extract single instance, format date, format text, format number, increment, decrement, uh, Then we work on the lookup related value,
Okay.
numeric constant, uh, substring text, text constant, text length, true false, right?
Uh, I think yeah, most of it I remember that we did touch upon.
Yeah. So now I'm going to use more complex things, which is like let's do with the count related instance first.
Awesome.
If I'll go here and I click on the count, uh, aggregate and the count related instance, these are two. So I'm going to work on the count related instance first, dependent count. So what actually we want? We wanted to check the count, how many persons in this dependents, like how many dependents are for this person. So that means we wanted to do a count, and it can go for all instance, or you can create a condition too, like a true false condition, like a child, how many childs in this. So you can click on those areas, and I click OK,
Mm-hmm.
click OK, and going to refresh it now. So look at this field. Now it's counted three because it has a three dependents. If I put like this function in that count related instance,
Mm-hmm.
then it will count two. So let's try to change it. And instead of dependent, I wanted to use my calculated field like which we have created it, right? Dependent
Yes.
EMI,
Right. Okay.
and click OK, and then just do refresh. So now it should be counting like two, or if it is more than two.
Mm-hmm.
So this person, like Teresa, has one. It's a runtime counting, right? It's not a
Correct.
hard code value.
Uh-huh.
Look at this one, the last record. There is a one child, so it will just bring one.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
done. And so this is a count related instance. Similarly, we can do some related aggregate instances. Like let's try. Give me a second, please.
Okay.
Now I'm going to edit it, and I am going to do one small modification here. Click plus, like before count, I'm just going to do a sum related agreements, aggregation. So aggregate related instance ARI dependent age sum. Aggregation is always sum, like you wanted to aggregate them, right?
Correct.
So there should be some numbers or something. Dependents condition I don't want, like I'll just say n is true or nothing. And field to aggregate, what field you want to aggregate on this instance. I wanted to aggregate age. Okay, there's
Mm-hmm.
no age. So I click OK.
Wait, why would the can you go back a page?
Yep, give me a
Oh,
second. I'll go back then. I'll go back again. So, yep.
Yeah. So why was the dependent also employee?
No, no, dependent is not employee. It's a aggregate. Aggregation is you try to aggregate the things, right?
Uh
Dependent is not the employee.
oh. Fields to aggregate. Okay, I see.
You are combining the different objects together.
Right, right,
You are
right.
aggregating the different objects, right?
Yes. That I
So that's what
understood.
we, yeah. So we are aggregating the dependents, and we are depending from the source field as employee, and then we are aggregating dependents.
Okay.
Normally, what I can do, I will edit it once more, and I'll use a different object instead of dependent. I'll use the history,
Okay.
and I use like compensation is a salary change history. I'm going to use that object, and I'm going to refresh it, and now
Uh-huh.
it will bring all the compensation historical aggregation.
Understood.
See, make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
The aggregation one is not a very commonly used objects or the calculated fields.
Okay.
And then I'll go and add one more. And now I'll look for one more business object, which is called evaluate expressions. I click on the evaluate
Yeah.
expression, and
Uh-huh.
here normally it's always true false.
Fellow expression true false. Okay.
Evaluate expression is true false. What type of field we want it to return? For example, we say that give a text, and we'll say that global field is, let's say text is this one, which is just a value, and I'll just say that if it is something true, like let's take an example of if gender is true, gender is male. If gender is male, gender in the selected list, it's a true false condition I'm making, and I'm saying male,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying if it is male, then do a create calculated field and say text constant male and text constant, like the function I'm using a text constant,
Uh-huh.
like I'm just going to hard code that he
Oh.
is a male and click OK and click OK. So what we'll do, if it's a male, then it will send a text constant value. Otherwise, it will come a uh, backslash, right? When I
Correct?
run it. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see.
See,
So
it's a backslash or he's a male. So it's more like a conditions. If A is true, then choose this. If B is true, choose this. It's a
interesting.
yeah, it's a condition. This is again one of the important calculated fields.
Gate.
You want me to show you again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just saying that if this condition is true, Then choose this. Else default value is this one.
Choose the
If condition is true, bring this, otherwise this.
text constant mail. Hold on. Okay, so okay, I think I understand.
Okay, the most important concept is the more you practice, the more you will get the concept. Uh,
Okay.
the more you use it, like the more you will find out their details, like why we are using it. And of course, like in the course, we are actually covering these things so that you know that how to use it and what are the fundamentals for this. But the more you do the practice, the more you will be
Uh-huh.
using it. And it's always a science and art. It's a learning and your artistic view, like how to bring something is a this whole report development task is. It's not
Understood.
only learning, like all the calculated fields. It's how you are using it, like how you are joining it,
Uh-huh.
right? You have to use your logical system, like if I have to bring this, how I can do and what I can do here.
Right.
And then I'll use the uh, look up hierarchies or look up organizations, calculated field. Look up organizations. And I use like on the company, let's say on the cost center,
Mm-hmm.
and it will look for all the cost center hierarchy. I don't want to use something. I use like a top level organization. I need to find out that one for Logan McNeil.
Uh-huh.
Organization and cost location hierarchy. Let's say I will going to use the location hierarchy. Uh, okay, nominal 25 is the highest level. I'm instead of using cost center, I'm going to use cost center, or
Cost.
maybe we use the supervisory. Supervisory is a more better concept because we used a lot of supervisory organizations in the system,
Okay.
and this is your supervisory organizations like human resource, and it will go up. And the top level is global modern services. Okay,
Okay.
and which level you wanted to bring?
Uh,
You
let's.
know that the level. So I'll bring
Yeah,
on the
I don't
three
know.
level.
What are the three levels?
Sorry, once more.
What are the three levels? I have no
Three levels
idea.
is like okay. The level is like okay. Let me take it to here. In your organization, you and you have your own manager, right?
Yes.
And then above manager level one is a manager level two, and then so on you go till CEO or
I
MD of the
see.
company, right? So these are the
Yes.
levels.
Understood.
So I'll go to refresh it. Someone has done changes. Everything converted. So this is the human resource on the third level. So let's do like one more,
Yes, please.
and I'm going to do it for the first level, level one. I'm going to refresh it. Someone has done some changes. Okay, now it's a slightly complex thing. Okay, this is better. Okay, never mind. I'm just creating a quickly custom report to we read there. Okay, so employee ID, and I'm going to use the create calculated field again. Now we are using a supervisory organization, and the top level node is, and I'm going to use the level 1, right? We're going to use the level 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
No, okay. Let me know if you are there's something wrong. Okay, John's is a Alma matter. So I'm just going to use again like a one more report. Actually same report but as a new screen. I'm going to change it to the organization level from 1 to 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to use this again. Now it will be at different levels. Make sense?
Yes.
So it means like if I'm going to bring this one John's.
Uh-huh.
Actually, the one thing which you are missing is a basic HCM training. That's why, otherwise, you can understand the hierarchy quite a lot, quite easily. But of course, when you are working on the different things, you will understand this automatically with the passage of time. If I'll go towards overview and organizations and look at this, the team structure, if I click on the team structure, look at this. This is the
Uh-huh.
first level, level
Yes.
1. Actually, not level 1, it's a level something. If I'll start from the level Peggy is our top level, level 1. This is level 2. Jill Jones is level 3. This is level 4. Make sense? Did you understand the levels?
Yes.
So this is like the organization structure we are bringing up. Any questions so far?
No.
Uh, by the course content, we have covered all the calculated fields which we should covered.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, and we covered advanced report, simple report, and matrix report, right?
Correct.
And we know about how to share the reports.
Correct.
So technically, give me a second. Let me bring. my course content. Okay, let me bring, I don't know if we, okay, give me 1 second. Let me bring up like the course.
Hmm.
Did you remember that this portion and we added like class and we do like display subgroups and it will bring the bigger one and the smaller one like on the groups level.